Hey guys, and welcome to the 23rd stream of building the game Oblation, Prince of Corruption. Now we've added a lot in here. We've added quite a bit, especially for this new area we're making. It's kind of like this shed where we have like a mini boss battle. I added the first puzzle in there as well. This is where we're gonna like kind of move these little pots around, avoid some enemies, and if we get the puzzle correct, then the trapdoor will open up, and then we're gonna be able to go to the next area. And I am debating about just sending us straight to the boss, or maybe I wanna have like 2 or 3 more like little puzzles for us to solve before fighting the boss. But if we wanna add that, I don't think it's gonna matter. We can do that pretty quick, so I'm not gonna do that in this session. This session I'm gonna work primarily on creating the boss battle. So we have the slime guy that kidnapped the golden boy, and we're gonna go up to it. It's gonna initiate the fight and the combat, and then we're gonna have just, you know, a little battle. And then eventually we rescue the golden boy. He gives us the staff, which then can help us navigate the maze inside the dark forest. So that's why this is all happening. Anyway. So we have quite a bit here. Let me double check a few things and then we'll get started. Let me know if you have any ideas for it. I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm in the phase where we're about to send the demo out. After this boss battle, I just have to clean up a few things, and then we're gonna go ahead and kind of see what we need to do. But overall, I think it's working pretty well though. I'm pretty happy with what we got so far. But yeah, so just let me know if you want to add anything cool in it. I'm up for anything, so just let me know. But yeah, let me add a little announcement and then we can jump into it. It's better if I do it this way. Okay. Not sure if it'll let me do this. Alright, let's go ahead. Just add the announcement here and then we'll be good to go. Let me know if the stream is lagging or anything. I have a new setup going on, so yeah. Let me double check. I just want to put a little pinned message in with the wishlist link and stuff, and then we should be good. Sweet, okay, looks good. I like it. Yep, looks good there. Okay, all right, so yeah, let's get to work. So, here we go, good. Nice. Things look good. Okay. All right, let me see what we got. And then we double check, make sure things are up. Wish I could automate all this. Okay. Perfect. Okay, nice. All right. Okay, so we got our little boss battle here. So far, I got kind of a lot of it working already. We don't really have too much else to do. We got our boss battle here. We go up, we see the slime guy. We transition into the scene, blah, 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 from Dr. Slime. Dr. Slime, I don't know if I'm gonna keep the name. It was kind of funny for a while. Doesn't really make sense. But yeah, then we're here. I haven't started the actual battle initiation yet, but so far we can hit it, we can get hurt by it, we get blocks, we have to, you know, we can't just leave or walk away. I'm tempted though to kind of change the room because the original boss was in a room just like this, and I have a feeling that this is becoming a little bit too repetitive for a boss battle. So I think what we might do ultimately is maybe change the room layout up. I have an idea where he kind of will jump kind of in different directions, but I don't know. If people don't like the demo of this and want to change it, then maybe they'll give me some ideas for it. But yeah, because I want the bosses to be all a little bit different. I feel like if I just put a boss in a room and the boss has different styles of attacking, it's gonna get kind of boring. But I don't know, I'm not sure what to do with that yet. But so far, this is what we got. So what we want to do in this session is I'm gonna go ahead and have our little slime guy. He's gonna have the still moments like this, and then eventually, after like, I don't know, 3 seconds, he'll start to do this jumping thing. When he jumps in the air, he won't be able to get hit, obviously. We won't be able to get hit. But once he hits the ground, I think what we'll do is we'll have him hit the ground, and then maybe like a shockwave comes out of him. I think it would be even more cool if we could do like a little bit of like a scatter. Like, I don't know, maybe he shoots slimes out of him, like little slimes, and then we have to avoid them. I think that would be kind of cool, but I don't know. I'm just unsure what to do with it. I think that might look pretty cool, so let's try that and see how we like it. Also, that's gonna be way too big, because anybody watching on mobile is gonna be like, that is huge. So let me go to windowed. Okay. All right, good there. I like it. Let me double check some things. Okay, we're good there, we're good there. Sweet. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we got. Okay, so we got the slime. What we want to do now is give him like, we're gonna have like idle state, and then we're eventually gonna have non-idle state. So let's go into map areas, area 1, slime cutscene. Okay, so we have our little slime here, and I think what we're gonna do, because I have a feeling that if we don't do it all on the slime itself, then we're gonna have some issues. So first off, we need to get the collision. We wanna make it 2, and I think it's already set to 2, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Let me double check. Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna change the name. So we have slime. I think that's gonna get confusing, so let's call him slime boss. Let's go ahead, and for slime boss, what we're gonna do is we need to give him some kind of directions, and either we can give him like random positions to attack us, but I think we're just gonna give it a couple different set ones. Like I'll put one here, here, maybe like 1 or 2. We could just do 3s. We could do 1 there, 1 there. I don't know. We just need like positions for him to jump around, basically. So let's go ahead and give him that ability. Let's create a script for this. Slime boss. I have a million scripts for this. All right, enemy. Technically, I want to make a specific folder for bosses. Okay, and then we'll put that in there. We need to get a little more organized. I think after this also, I'm gonna just do a big cleanup because we have a lot of messy code and stuff for this. So let's go ahead and start with this. So first thing we're gonna do is we need a variable to represent the animator we have. So add on ready, var sprite anim. That's an animated sprite 2D. And we're going to equal that to our current one, which is Dr. Slime. If we keep Dr. Slime, the reason I don't like Dr. Slime is I think it's silly, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me if you like Dr. Slime, because we could change it. I thought, like, I'll be honest, I think this slime looks like a female. I think it's because it has like really big eyelashes or something. So I don't know, but it just depends. All right, so we got the slime. We're also going to need the health for the slime. Slime health. I think also, ooh, you know what we did? Actually, we don't want to care. We're not going to care about the health because we're dealing with that in this script here, because that initiates the color changing of it, which is a little silly why we did that, but oh well. The only thing we want to track for the slime is going to be whether it's alive or not. So first we'll go ahead and say alive. Yeah, alive will be just a bool, and we're going to equal that to false. Okay. So let's separate our add-on readies so it looks nice. So we're gonna have our var for alive because we know we want it to kind of move around and have a set. And basically we're just gonna make it move faster and change the sprite depending on what its current health is. So let's go ahead and we're gonna need another variable as well, specifically for, I think we're gonna need it for, let's double see. So var alive bool false. We want to make an idle one. So what we're gonna do, var, we're just gonna have, let's say like attacking. Attacking. If it's attacking, then we're gonna have it do its little jumping thing. Again, that will be false. If it's not attacking, we want it to be in idle position, playing the idle animation. So we'll do a function for that, a process, delta. I don't really care about delta, so what we're gonna do is get rid of that. We'd only want to use delta if we want to mess with like frame rate stuff. But anyway, so we're gonna do that, and we're just gonna say if attacking equals false, then we're simply gonna set it to idle state. So we're gonna take Dr. Slime, which is sprite animation, and we're gonna do a dot play, and we're gonna simply play the idle. Because I'm pretty sure moving is jumping. We just saved that from something else, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, all right. So next up, what we're gonna do is, where'd my thing go? There it is, okay. So we are going to function process delta void, perfect. Let's go ahead and kind of get ready to make it move. So we have this happening, and I think the best way to do this is we're just gonna have a timer that turns on and off basically, and we'll basically set it to be a slower timer for when it's not attacking. And we can change that depending on the health of the boss slime. So let's go ahead and add a timer. This is gonna be the timer that switches in between whether or not it's attacking us. I think an idle state of 3 seconds is pretty good for default time. So this is not gonna start, or it's not gonna really do anything until we actually start the battle. So I think we're gonna have to initiate that on close. So let's go ahead, we're gonna have another variable. We're gonna call this battle underscore started. Again, that's gonna be a bool, that's gonna equal false, okay? So we're gonna initiate this basically once the conversation is over with the slime cutscene. So let's go ahead and go to where we talk to it. Once we close out of the conversation, which should be, let's see, it's gonna be in here somewhere. Okay, process is there, typewriter's there, close button. Okay, then we want to initiate that. And we're gonna do it the lazy way, and we're just gonna take our slime and go like this. And we're gonna do a dot, and then we're just gonna say battle started equals true. Okay, so we know that the battle starts when the conversation is over with the boss battle. So we're gonna go ahead to slime boss, and what we're gonna do is say the timer can actually initiate. So the timer's gonna always be going, but I think it's gonna start. So we're gonna kind of like start it off, and maybe what we'll do is we'll just set idle to true immediately. But we can also change that. I think that's okay. So let's go ahead. And again, I think what we'll do, so we don't have to keep calling it with its path, it's better to do it this way because it'll make the processing speed a little bit faster. Because if we just do this line thing the entire time like we did with that and the thing before, it's gonna slow it down because it's gonna call the timer quite a bit. So our add-on ready, our timer, and if we want to be more specific, we can just call this the loop timer. We're gonna go ahead, timer, and just equal this simply to our timer. Perfect. And if that doesn't like it, it's because I didn't make that a T. Let's double check. Yep, capital T timer. I don't like how the case sensitivity is like that. It's kind of weird, but I guess it matches the nodes in the trees for Godot. So that kind of makes sense, I guess. Anyway, we have our loop timer for the timer, blah, blah, blah. Once that gets kicked off, we'll start going. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the node, the signal of the timer connected to the sprite, slime boss, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and just say, first off, we wanna make sure that the battle started. So we're gonna say if battle started equals true. Then we can do everything we need to do because we don't want this to do anything if the battle is not started. And also once we defeat the boss, we can just keep this as false. But we'll come up with a different way for that, probably when the health equals 0. Okay, if battle started equals true, then we're gonna go ahead and we are going to say, let's say, again, another if attacking equals false, Then we're going to set attacking to true, and then vice versa, we'll switch it back and forth. This is a dirty way to do it, but it's pretty simple, so I don't care. Attacking to false. Alright, sweet. So this is just going to go back and forth a bunch. Now, what we want to do is we want to kick this off, because I don't want this to kick off just endlessly. I think that's kind of silly. I want it to always start in the idle position when we end the conversation, because what's going to happen if we don't do that is it's simply just going to jump and immediately attack the player, maybe, and that's going to be very annoying. So this is going to be a one-shot, and we're just going to have an auto start. But because we want to force the timer to be slower in the idle position, we're going to reset it. So if attacking equals true, so that one we want to set to the longer one. So this is probably going to go up, I think, realistically. But for now, I'm just going to get the base level of it done. So let's go ahead and just take our timer. Let's do our dot wait time. And let's simply set that equal to, so when it's attacking, let's say attacking lasts for 6 seconds. And then for looping, let's just make that equal to like, I don't know. Let's just equal that to something like 3. Now, there's a reason that this might not be a good idea, which we're going to probably run into this, is because it's going to like stop mid like attack. And so what we're going to probably have it do is we're probably going to come up with some logic to force it to continue the current attack it's on and then stop and start the process for it. But we can get to that once we get this working correctly. So loop timer wait time. Yeah, 6, 3, or we can just like get the processing of it down, which we could like do that, but I don't know. Anyway, attacking loop doom doom doom, because it's a one shot and not just like repeating. We're gonna have to start the timer every time we do this. So let's take our loop timer again, and we're gonna do a dot start with a parentheses. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the other one, because again, we want this to keep going as long as the battle has started. Awesome. All right, so now let's go ahead. We have loop timer start, loop timer start. What we're gonna do is clean it up. And then we're gonna go ahead. All right, we got the timer. We got a couple other things. Let's see. All right, we got that, that's good. So now it should switch in between. So what I wanna do to test this to make sure it works is I want it to say if attacking, it plays the correct animation. So we'll do an else here, and we're just gonna play that walking animation, which I don't know why we named it walking, but it was specifically for, because I think I was gonna have it jump to walk, but then it looked really weird when I was doing that. You're gonna see why. So let's save moving, and then let's go ahead, let's go to 2D view. All right, so what should happen is we go walk up to it, and then we end the conversation. After 3 seconds, it should start this jumping animation, which is going to be this one here. So it should do that for like 6 seconds, and then go back to the idle one, which we need to make sure that's looping. Also make sure that's looping. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this out real quick. Let's make sure it works. Hopefully it looks good. All right, so player's there. He walks up to the boss battle. All right. Playing idle, perfect. We end the conversation. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. And we're getting a bunch of problems. False, false, false. So this is not working correctly. Dr. Slime, why? Oh, it's because we named it differently. That's why. See, this is why we don't want to do this, because then we have to change it for every single one. This was bad programming for me. But luckily, it's an easy fix because I made it last night. All right, slime boss, slime boss, slime boss. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Perfect. Okay, I think that's all we need to do for that. Slime boss. Why did that one look there? Oh, because we did it. That's weird. I don't know how that worked before, because it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, this might fix it, but let's double check. I don't think this is going to fix our issue at all. I need to get rid of that. It's just causing problems. Okay. We talk to the slime. We close the button. We attack the slime. Cool. It still gets attacked. But it's not changing the animation. So I have a feeling what's happening here is it's kicking this off. If battle started. Did we set battle started to true? I don't think we did. I think that's what the problem is. Did we set battle started to true? So on close, battle started equals true. Okay, but we never kicked off the timer. That's why. So let's go ahead and do this. Loop underscore timer. Okay, now it should do it. Also, whoops, we need to set that to start, I think. Yeah. Because it's a function. Perfect. Okay, so after 3 seconds, it should start jumping. Let's double check and make sure that works. All right, we're walking. All right, we talk to the guy, we go up to the guy, we get attacked. He attacks us. 1, 2, 3. He starts jumping. Let's make sure he stops jumping. Because I think what we're gonna do is we're only gonna have him jump once. Unless we want him to like continually jump. Okay, there we go. So 1, because I think it's kicking it off. All right, idle. See, that's what we don't want. We want it to like finish the animation before it happens. Because the animation is lasting longer. So that's what I mean. We're gonna have to like almost wait for it to finish. Instead of a loop, I think what we're gonna do is like a start and a wait. My only worry with that is if we do like awaits and stuff, we're gonna need another script to handle it. Because if we have any other code below the await function, it's gonna stop all the other cool stuff. So timer might not be the way. The timer might actually only be a good idea for if it's in idle position. So maybe what we should do is say like if it attacked, then we can mix it up a little bit. If that makes sense. But yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see what we got. Okay, so this isn't gonna work because the animation's not continuous and can't stop halfway. We need it to finish jumping. So I think what we should do is say the idle position's going on here. I don't think we should start it until the animation finishes. That makes sense. I think we should have a function that plays this and then it stops it once the animation finishes. So like I said, we gotta go back here. We're gonna turn off looping for this one because it jumps, smashes on the ground when it gets to about like here, and then it should send the shockwave. Once it sends the shockwave, then we can, I guess, like start the idle process. So we're gonna get rid of starting it here, but instead we will go ahead and create a nice little function. So we'll do function underscore, well, we don't have to do underscore, we could. What's up? At the Red Fool, best viewers honestly. That's an ad. Get out of here, ad. Alright, let me get the ad out of here. He gone. Okay. Let's keep going. Alright. Function underscore. We're gonna say, we could just do this. We could just say start attack jump. I like having descriptive functions. Okay, once this happens, we can keep, we don't even want this either. This is kind of useless, technically. I wonder how, we need to like track it almost, if that makes sense. We're gonna need to see and we're gonna need to tell. So attacking equals true. Let's see, start attack jump. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the animation. So we're gonna go ahead and get our animated sprite 2D. We don't want it to be here because we're changing where this is. So we're gonna take moving. So let's go ahead, add moving there. And now we can do the await. And then we're gonna do sprite anim dot animation finished. Once animation's finished, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead. All right, once that finishes, then we can kind of reset things. So the only reason this is important is because it's going to be for the idle positioning. So we actually don't need to set the loop timer to 3. We can just keep that actually because it's going to be by default. But we will do this, start, jump, attack. Okay, start, jump, attack, and this finishes. Then we can go ahead and initiate this all. So we're going to wait for this to finish. Once it finishes, we're just going to simply set that to false. And then we can start the timer again. This one, pretty sure, doesn't need this to be set anymore. So we will go ahead and then kick that off here. Attacking equals false. So attacking equals true. I think we needed to put that there. If attacking equals false, then we're gonna, let's see, attacking, that's wrong. We need to put this in the other one. Oopsie. Okay. We're gonna go ahead, start, attack, jump. We're gonna take that and we're gonna put it over here. Sweet, attacking, I don't even want that to happen. This is gonna take away that because it's gonna happen inside of it. Okay, if attacking equals false, we just want to start the idle power. So yeah, let's just do this. If attacking equals true, then we're going to do this. And then we're starting it. Attacking equals false. Start the timer. After 3 seconds, it should be back to normal. If attacking equals true. If attacking equals true, yeah, we need the other one. I am not understanding my logic. If boss battle starter equals true. Okay. And let's say the timer, and we're saying we're not attacking. If attacking equals false, then we want to wait. We want to wait like 3 seconds. So if attacking equals true, we're going to start attack jump. Attacking equals false. If attacking equals false and the timer is off, then we're going to set it as equal to attacking equals true. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Because that doesn't make sense, because we still want it to wait. Perfect. And again, if that's happening, it's going to kick that off? No. Ugh. Alright, attack, start, attack, jump. Start, attack, jump. Okay, if attacking battle start equals true, if attacking equals false, then we're going to kick it off. Yes. And then attacking. We want to start the attack, basically. Okay, so we want to set attacking equal to true. And then we wait for it to kick off. Because the only thing I'm worried about is the delay. You know what I mean? So we're waiting, attacking equals true, that goes on. And then we're going to do attacking equals false. We should wait for the animation to finish. We start the timer. Once the timer goes off, attacking. I don't actually think. I don't think we need any of this. This is very useless. Because it's going to auto do it anyway. Okay. Let me double check this because I don't think it's going to work. It might work. And once we do this, then we can do the fun stuff like make it move around. Okay. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Jumps. Okay. See, now it's not playing it though. So it never went back. So let's double check why. So it did the jump, it waited, attacking equals false, start the timer. If attacking equals false, play idle animation sprite. Interesting, why is it waiting for it? Loop timer. Also, that little thingy that keeps saying false is driving me crazy. Where is it? Because this is printing, I think this is printing something for the player. I thought I got rid of that. I don't remember where I put that. I think it was... Oh, I don't remember. Let me find that real quick. It was somewhere... Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, good. Alright, back to slime. Okay, this works in the beginning. Problem is, when I start the timer, nothing changes. Oh wait, animated sprite changed. Why? Oh, that's why. It never said animation finished. So it never kept going, it just stopped there, because it doesn't matter, it's not changing. Okay. Let's see how this works. We walk up. Alright. Talk to slime, close out. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. He jumps. Does he go back to idle? Nope. Yep, he does. Perfect. Okay. Jumps. Perfect. Look at that. Looks great. Alright, now we have a tricky part. We have to time this and make sure it gets to a specific frame, and then we can start to, like, I don't know what we're gonna do. I think we need to, like, I don't know, I'm tempted to make slimes appear somehow. Like, he stomps on the ground, and then a ring of slimes. I would like it to, like, shoot out of it, and then, but I feel like that's gonna be kind of ridiculous. I don't know how we're gonna dodge that unless we can, like, attack it from a distance. So, I don't know. We could make it shoot slimes out, or we could make it have a ring that, like, goes, because he looks like he's, like, ground pounding it, so he can, like, make a circle around it that grows or spreads. So, but I like the idea of him, like, doing this and then slimes, like, shoot out from him, if that makes sense. And then, like, maybe every time it does it, it shoots it out in different directions. So, like, maybe we'll go like this, and then maybe another one will go like this. And then maybe when it gets harder, it'll do both, and then that's going to be really hard to avoid. That would be kind of cool. Okay. So, we need slimes to shoot out of it. I just don't know how this is going to look. Okay. So, I think what we're going to do is we probably will, I don't know if it's going to work, because I think the await is going to stop everything. So I don't think it's going to let me do other things. So what I think we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make another script in the slime that controls when it shoots out the other little slimes, if that makes sense. So we'll basically start that when we want to attack. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do this. Okay, so we're going to do... why is that highlighting that? Let's just call this shoot slimes. It's going to be our controller for shooting the slimes. And what we're going to do is put it there. And we'll start with one, and then we'll figure out how to add multiple. So what we're going to do is we need to initiate when it shoots the slime in the first place. So, well, first we need the slime itself. So I want it to go, yeah, it doesn't really matter which way. Sideways. The only thing I'm worried about is because this is a top-down style game, horizontal movement of slimes is gonna look kind of silly. So maybe, I don't know, he could either shoot slimes out or he's gonna shoot rocks. I feel like both would be okay. Slimes, I feel like there's a cool blue slime that kind of looks like this one, so that would be kind of cool. My only worry is, like, what direction do they face when they're going sideways? So I think what we should do, I should make a kind of like slime that doesn't really have a face, I guess. I'll do that eventually, but I think for now we'll just use the regular slime, and it's just gonna, like, move in that direction. So we'll get rid of the face, because if we have a face, then we need to, like, face it in certain directions. So I think we don't want to do that, if that makes sense. Yeah, so, all right, let's go ahead and, oh you know what I forgot to do? No, we can do that later. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another script. Well, first we want to tell it. Well, it doesn't really matter. We need another timer, technically. Because I have a feeling it's going to be like... Okay, we're going to say shoot timer. Timer, shoot. Make sure I spell it right. Okay, timer, shoot. So we're going to do timer, shoot. And then we're going to go ahead... And this one is going to be a one-shot as well, and I think, I don't know. I'd rather do like, yeah, we'll keep it at 1 second for now. But for shoot slimes, we're going to need another script for this. And yeah, let's put this in the boss script that we had for bosses. Okay, so for this, what we're going to do is we need a script that shoots the slimes out in multiple directions. I think for now we're just gonna have one type to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and first we need a slime that's just like a body or whatever. So let's make that real quick so I don't forget. We'll just make that inside the slime so I know where it is. This will be a simple character body 2D, and we're just gonna call this slime ball. Such a slime ball. So I'll have slime ball. Make sure I know where slime ball is. It's on slime. Okay. So for slime ball, let's give it a nice little sprite. And like I said, we're probably gonna change the sprite for this because I don't want to use the one with a face because that's kind of silly. So I think we're gonna get the art for it. Actor monsters. Where is the slimes? Slime, 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 slime. Slime. We need the blue one with the face because that's going to be the easiest for me to change. And I don't want to, yeah, we don't really need an animation for it. We do, though, need to make it the correct size, which we know everything in the game's a 4. Like, see what I mean? I think we'll have a slime, but I think we're going to, like, just shoot it out. We're not going to have it, like, animate or anything. We'll just use, like, this one. Oh, that looks cool. Because it looks like it comes from this slime here. So let's go ahead to texture. Let's change that to nearest, and let's go ahead, go to the animation, and then, yeah, actually, I'll just keep my life simple by doing that one, because that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. We could use the one that's like a little more squished, I think, like, that one's in the air, but there's one that's like kind of squished. We could do that. I kind of like that. Easier to see, so we could like shoot that out. Because if it's too big, I think it's going to be kind of bothersome. So whatever. Well, I'm going to adjust this, though, to match, even though that kind of looks perfect. Because I kind of want it to animate a little bit, but I don't know. It just depends. Like, we could do this animation. Like, what if I do this? This might look better. Let's go ahead and let's do an animated sprite 2D. Animated sprite 2D. And let's take this guy. Let's give this a new animated sprite. Yes, that's what we want. And again, we're just gonna take, because it's kind of moving, you know, so again, now I gotta find it. Okay, go to monsters. Let's go to slime 3. Slime 3. There it is. Okay. 16 by 16. I can't see anything. I think like this one. So yeah, we'll just like loop it in these two, and I think that might be kind of cool. Again, texture for nearest, and then we need to do the transform size. That's gonna be a 4. This is what I was talking about. Like, if we like, I don't know. I think it looks better than if we don't do it, but like, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're only gonna like, it's like gonna be in multiple directions. It'll be like randomly like that way, that way, or that way, or that way, or this way, or this way, or this way. And then we'll have them all when you get to the third fight or whatever. But I think it's okay. And I can also shrink it too, but we'll keep that. Okay, then what we're gonna do is we need to give it a collision shape with an enemy tag. So add tag. This is basically gonna have it not go through anything. And you know what? Yeah, you know what? We're gonna make our lives easier, and we're just gonna not give it a collision shape, because it doesn't really matter. We're gonna give it an area 2D. In this area 2D, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna look for, again, collision shape. And this time, I want to do this. I want it to, yeah, we're gonna give it a rectangle. So basically once this thing runs into the player or the wall, I want it to disappear. So let's just do a simple box. And then this. And then this. And then this. Perfect. Okay. And yep, we're just going to give this an enemy tag because we want it to hurt the player. Perfect. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we need this to kind of move in the direction we choose it to do that. So we're going to go ahead to slime ball. I don't know if I like the name slime ball. But let's go ahead. Let's go here. Let's do scripts. Where's enemy? Enemy, bosses, slimeball.gd. Now what I want to do to make my life simple is just have a simple script that is going to make this, one, destroy itself if anything runs into it. So let's go ahead. No 2D. Signals. Body entered. Yeah, that's good. Slimeball. Yes. Okay, so if anything hits this, I want it to queue free. Queue free. So I want it to go away. Now this might cause me an issue, but maybe not. And then for now, we're also going to get rid of this. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me double check everything. We're okay. Yes, we are here. And yes, we are here. Perfect. Okay. But what we're going to do is, so we got to do away there. We just need a script to make this go in a direction based on where we tell it. So let me grab a simple script for that. Alright, with that we should be set, I think. Alright, let me put this in there. Perfect, okay. So, let me make sure we're set. Yep, perfect, perfect, perfect. 8-way, vector 8. Alright, I don't want it to do that way though. Huh. I don't want to pass in a vector for this. I would rather have it just, I can set it. This will be better, because if I pass in a vector, it's going to get confusing. So I'd rather just be like, you know, whatever one I want it to go to. Let's do it this way. Keep my life simpler. Okay, perfect. Then we can go ahead and pass it in. So all we have to pass in basically is 1, 2, 3. 1 is up, 2 is upright, and then it just kind of circulates. So we'll just pass it in this way. Because then we would have to pass it in this way, which is kind of repetitive, and we can get confused with that. Because I have a feeling I'm going to use this again for other types of enemies. What's up, man? How you doing? We're making a game right now. Yeah, we're making a little boss battle. Alright, let's see. Perfect, this works great. This works good. So all we're gonna do is tell it what we want to do. So to test this, we could just initiate it. So this guy will, ooh, you know what? So this is just for the slime. So anyway, we can kind of test this, I guess, if I bring this near the player. Problem is it might not do it immediately. Unless I make it super slow. Yeah, we could just do that. We'll just make it like 10. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Oh, lovely, this is not loading. Alright. What's going on, CTX1W? Is that loading now? Yeah. It always freezes sometimes. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is test this out. I want it to force the direction. So, let's call this once on ready. Just for testing. We're just gonna do, yeah, we're just gonna set it. Let's just set it so 1 will go up. Let's just do that. Okay. And then I also want to make sure I can get hurt by it and that we can also run into it correctly. Perfect, it goes up. If I run into it, it doesn't hurt me though. See, that's the problem. I want it to still hurt me, but because we're telling it to queue free, we have a little bit of a problem. So what we could do is just give it a delay. We could give it a tiny little delay, just so it like doesn't do that instantly. So what we could do, let's see, because I want to make sure we can still get hit by it, because I'm pretty sure the Area 2D is going to delete it faster than we're going to notify it, which is really weird. I don't know why it does that. I feel like it should still register it, but maybe it's because the processing speed is slower. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do that, because I want to make sure this works good before we do everything else we need. So let's go ahead, 1 shot, 0.2. And what we're gonna do is connect this to slime ball. And let's go ahead. What are we gonna do? We are going to just queue free it. So we're just gonna start this once we hit it. Okay. And then what we're gonna do, yeah, that's fine. That'll be okay. Okay. I just wanna make sure we can get hurt by it, because I have a feeling it's not going to let us do that for some weird reason. It's probably because the area is messed up. Okay, no, we got hurt by it, see? And if we want to even make it go faster, because honestly, 0.2 is probably fine, but we could even do 1. If you go lower than 1, it might have issues. So let's make sure we can get hit. Okay, boom. Perfect. Okay, that's good. It's okay it has a delay. We could have done that in code, but then it would create a node for the timer, so it's better to just have that set like that. Awesome. Okay, so we can get hurt. by it, it goes in the correct direction. So to save space, we'll do this. Okay, so now that we have this guy, what we want to do is when we hit the ground, we want to spawn them in certain directions. And we want, like I said, we want probably a variety of 3 different ways. So like, we want, well, I don't know. We could do 3 stages of the boss. I might just keep it at 2, but like it just moves faster, and then it will move faster and start shooting more, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's a good way to do it. Okay, so now that we have the slime ball, we need the slime ball, make sure it's positioned correctly. We need to save this as its own scene. So let's go ahead, save branch as scene. We're gonna save this components. Technically it's in enemies. Again, because we have boss battle specific stuff, we're just gonna put this in bosses for components. Save it, nice, okay. Then what we gotta do for the boss is we gotta select it. So for slime boss, well, we don't care. This is going to be in the shoot slimes manager. We need an add-on ready, and we're going to do add-on ready var slime ball or balls, and then we're going to do a type. Well, I don't know. It's easier just to do preload. There's probably a better way to do this, but this is okay. Make sure we have the scene. No, where's slime ball? Where is slime boss? No. Yep, slime ball TSCN. Okay, perfect. So we have this slime ball, but now we need to kind of shoot it in different directions. So what we're gonna do is we need like the areas around the slime. So we have the slime. So for shoot slimes, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna give it points of where I want it to shoot the slime balls out of. So let's give it some node 2Ds, and we're just gonna do it just like we did with the other one. So we're just gonna do like point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for point 1, I'm gonna go like, yeah, like right there. Point 2, and this doesn't need to be perfect, as long as it's not in. And as long as it's not in the slime, that's the problem, is we can't have it inside the slime area. So we need to make sure we put it far enough around the slime that it will not be, because if we spawn it and it's in the slime area, it's gonna instantly destroy itself, because we want it to destroy itself when anything touches it. So this might cause us issues. We can technically make it different, but I think we'll be okay if we just surround it correctly. So we need 8 points. So, yep, let's do like there. Because honestly, the player will not be in the same area, so I'm not really that worried about it. And we can always adjust this to be a little better. I just want to make a nice 8 points. And probably like there. And then like I think this is a pretty cool like boss mechanic, because I want the bosses to be pretty different. I don't want any of them to be very similar. So there we go. Those are 8 points, okay? So based on the point, I want it to shoot and be in the correct direction. So what we're gonna do is, I think what we should do is just create a function for this. We're gonna call this function shoot. Shoots slimes. Yeah, shoot slimes. That's the same name. I don't like calling things the same name as the script. Shoots out slimes. Okay, because that could cause us issues. Anyway, there we go. Well, what's up, Mob? How you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a while. How's your game going? Let's see. I'm gonna get rid of that. I don't agree with that. Shoot slimes. Okay. We're gonna have 3 different types of shoot slimes. We'll just have it as type. Oh, we can't use type. We need a number. Whatever. Call it number. Number. And that's gonna be an int. And then we're gonna just do a match statement for each type. So match number. And then we're just gonna do one. One will be, what do you want to do one as? Oh, I don't like how there's a space there. One will be the type. So one will be the crossway. So we'll do, first, yeah, we gotta do, what's an easy way to do this? Because we could just do a big bulky way. Probably do a bulky and then we'll fix it. So var new slime, yeah, equals instantiate. Now, slime balls dot instantiate, and then we're gonna go ahead, reading code. Nice, man. Oh, that's tough. You can technically use Godot on your phone though. Sometimes I would do that when I didn't have access to my computer. It's actually not that bad. It's good for like little stuff. I just feel like maybe you would need like a mouse to connect to it too, because the buttons are kind of tiny. But yeah, it's pretty nice to be able to do it on your phone as well. Okay, so new slime, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna set new slime dot global position. Why does it not think it's that's weird. You know why? I think it's because we never told it where it is. New slime global position equals that's what we wanted. We want the correct points. Dot global position. Okay. And then what we're gonna do, yeah, mobile is rough, but it is better than nothing though. And we don't want to add this as a child. We're gonna add it as a sibling to the parent node, because if we do that, we're gonna be in trouble. And we want to do that before. So let's grab the parent node we have. Dot add sibling. New slime. Instantiate. Yeah, I know. I wish it was initiate. It was initiate for the longest time, and now it's instantiate. It's not fair. I don't like it. I think they did change it. Where is it? But it's really good for creating things in the scene. Problem is, if you create too many things, it's gonna destroy your game. Like, it's gonna lag like crazy. It scares you though. Yeah, it's bulky. Var new slime equals slime balls instantiate. I always used to pronounce it initiate still, because it still looks like initiate, which I think is really funny. All right, new slime. New slime. Doo-doo. Okay. Yeah, that's funny. Alright, we're making, this is going to be a really cool boss battle. I don't know if you're caught up, but it's going to be kind of interesting. It's going to like shoot these slime balls out when it bangs on the ground. I think it's going to be kind of cool. For Dr. Slime. New slime, global that position, 0.1, perfect. Now we just need to tell it as well. Yeah, this is my second boss battle. And honestly, I like this boss battle. The only thing I don't like is how I have it. It's just in a box. I think my last one was in a box too, and I feel like my players are not going to be, they're not going to like it as much. But I don't know. It is a retro game, and honestly, all retro games are kind of played in a box. But I would like to have more dynamic boss battles where it's like you have to like travel. I have a really cool boss battle for one of my bosses that I'm going to do. But I don't know. That one's going to be interesting. But yeah, it's going really well though. This is going to be a massive script. Okay, new slime. And then the function we need. What was the slime ball? Where is the slime? Did I delete it? Oh no. Let's Let's go back to components. Let's go to enemies, bosses, slime ball. Okay. What did we call this thing? Set direction? That's what it was. This is what it's called. Okay, perfect. Back to here. Dot set direction, because this is going to set the direction of where the slime ball is going to go. PvP. Yeah, box boss battles. That's awesome. That's great. So this one's going to go up first, because this one's going to go up, right, left, and down. So we're going to do that for this one. New slime, and honestly, this is such a lazy way to do it, but it's okay. I'm going to just put 1, because I don't want to do this 100 times. This might, I don't know if this is going to work efficiently. This is such a bad way to do this. 2. And then what we're gonna do is tell it to go 2. And then we're gonna tell it to go 3. Wait, oh wait a minute. No, that's 1, 2, that should be 3. Because remember, it's up, down, left, and right. So yeah. Okay, but we can call it 1, 2, 3. That's fine, as long as we tell it the direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna set this one to 5. This is gonna get really confusing that I'm doing it like this. It's okay. It's funny. No. Okay. There's gotta be a way I'm gonna fix this later. I just wanna make sure this is gonna work in a cool way. All right, boom, boom, boom. And then we're gonna do this. This is gonna be the 4th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Preload is a very good way to load in game components. So like, unlike, well, it's really great to pair it with instantiate, because when you preload things into the game, it like loads it up before the game actually kind of like creates it. So like you want to use a preload if you're like using a game that like makes little weapons or shoots little bullets, or like you have a bunch of enemies that come out of an enemy, you want to preload them before, because it'll load them on start of the game instead of just throughout the game. So it's just one way to do it. There's another way. You can do like a packed scene as well. I liked using preload. It's probably not the most efficient way, but it works pretty well for what I'm doing, because I'm only preloading like 2 or 3 things. It's not a print though. Preload is like it loads the entity. This is the 4th one. That was 7, 4, 4, 4, and 4. Yeah. The name also, it's not like instantiate and initiate. Because I don't even know what instantiate means. It probably just means initiate. I don't know why they changed it. I liked initiate better because it was cool. Easier to say and spell. All right, this one will start this. So that's great for this one. Now we want to do 2. And this is a dirty way to do it, because I should be coming up with a nice little way, but I don't care. The only thing I'm going to change here, so 2. We can keep everything. We just got to change the position. So instead of, it's going to be horizontal. So 2 for that one. And that's going to be 4. It's going to be 6. Yeah, 6. It's going to be 8. Okay, perfect. And then when we get like mega attacks, it's going to do both. So what I think we're going to do is I'm just going to call this twice. Ooh, that'd be cool if there was a delay. I would think that would be awesome. But we'll see. We can try it with just 1 and 2 first. Okay, so this is going to happen when he hits the ground. And this might break my game, because this is a lot of things that are happening here. But maybe not. Maybe it'll be okay. Ooh, actually, nope. This is not going to work, because we're spawning them all at 0.1. We need to set the points to match up with these numbers. So that's 3. That's 5. And this is 6. No, 7? Why is it 2 differently? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I guess that makes sense. That's weird. And this is going to be 2, 4, 6. That's 8. Okay, and with that, that should work. Okay, so when you're doing this $ thing, this is grabbing things inside of it. So, for instance, like I'm grabbing the points. So you see how I'm on shoot slime right over here? It knows, because there's no quotes, that we don't need to go up any directory. So it's already like right inside of it. So when you don't have quotes, you don't need to have, when you don't go like up basically, like see how this is up with 2 dots? That means I'm going up a directory. So if you have something below, it knows to find it inside of itself, versus if you have quotes, it's like, oh, I need to grab something up and then down, if that makes sense. Like quotes are used a lot when you're trying to find paths that aren't inside. What's up, Real? How you doing? But yeah, we're just going over some game stuff, making a boss battle, doing some cool stuff. But yeah, the pathways, just remember that when you don't have quotes, you're going inside of it, and when you do have quotes, it means you're usually going up a directory. Directories, the file paths, basically, inside the scene tree. Yeah, it's just, I actually do like it, because that means this is not inside of it, you know what I mean? Versus this is inside of it, which I like. Because at least then you can be like, oh, like if you get lost in your directory, because directory pathing is confusing. It's like a Linux thing most of the time when you're like going through like kernels and stuff. Well, that's good. I hope you feel better. Maybe my soothing lo-fi background music will help heal you. But yeah. Okay, that's good there. Yeah, we need to set this correctly. So let's go ahead. Let's go to this. All right, so when he does the jump attack, which is here, we have a timer that does it. Okay, well, thanks for saying hi. I appreciate it. Please drop a follow or something. How often do you use function process delta? So function process is basically updating everything in the game frame. So like anything you want to keep checking, like is the player alive? Is the player alive? Is the player alive? You're gonna check that in the process function. Stuff like that. They also have another one called physics process. Physics process is specifically for the movement of the object. So like if you're having a player that has to keep moving right when this button is being held down, you'll put that in the physics process. The regular process is just kind of like a switch loop. Checking bools, checking if the player's alive, checking specific integers. But yeah, so you want to use it anytime you need to repeatedly check. Like for instance, in this function here on line 10, I'm checking to see if the player is attacking, because if they're not attacking, I want to play their idle looping animation, if that makes sense. To be fair, you don't want a lot of process checks because it runs. Luckily, computers can handle a lot of these, so it's not too big of a deal. So, yeah. Awesome. All right, but we need to initiate shooting the slimes out. So, normally, I'm gonna make this kind of shoot out randomly and based on the health, but because we're testing it, I'm just gonna have it do it immediately for now, just to make sure it works and looks good. So I'm gonna take my shoot slimes, I'm gonna do dot shoot slimes, and we're just gonna tell it to do the regular horizontal one, which we know is 2. So when he starts to attack, that's gonna happen. My only worry with this is because the timer is going to do it. So what I might do to just make it look a little bit more realistic is do a 1-second timer and then do that. Because like I said, when we do an await, it's going to wait for it to happen. So I don't know. We're going to have to see. This might be weird and it might not do it correctly, but at the end of the day, we can always change it. Let's go to slime boss. Because I'm worried it's going to not run this if it's awaiting here. So let's just do it here and see. Because what we could do also is we could set the timer. You know what? We should do that. I'm going to do that. Let's make our lives easier. We're going to do this here, and then we're going to shoot the timer based in the other script, because I don't want that to deal with this. Because when we're awaiting, we don't want to have other things happening. So let's disconnect what we just connected, reconnect it. We're going to reconnect it to specifically this. Ooh, that's not a good idea. So another thing we got to do, it's not really good to connect things on the same line. If you're going to put something inside of a component, it's best to just put it in it as a whole. So once again, click it again. And this time, connect it to the main shoot slime. So once this happens, I think what we're going to do, I don't know. I wanted to do this in a specific time. So for if statements, it needs a double quote to clarify. So like if I go back to my original slime boss, you want to use double quotes here because double quotes are kind of like determining what you're looking at versus when you just use a regular equal sign in Godot, you're setting it. So when you have an if statement or a match statement or anything where you're like checking, you want to use 2. But in Godot, if you want to equal it to something, you use 1. So that's why we have like attacking equals true here after the attack jump starts. So like the same thing for like if you want to say greater than or less than equal, like you can't just say equal. Like I can't be like and money equals 1. You need to have the double or it's going to give you the error. Another cool thing, if you didn't know this with if statements, you can say and then add another one of those. But you can also just do the 2 and symbols in Godot. You can do 2 and symbols, which saves you 1 letter. Or you could do the 2 R symbols as well. So, but it's best to just do, you know, real language of and or, I think, personally. But yeah, always make sure to have doubles when you do if statements. Sometimes you can even do triple, I think. I don't know if Godot handles triple equals. I know, I think it's more of like a, what do you call it? Like a JavaScript thing. Because triple will check the data type and the value type. But I don't know if Godot does that. I think they just want the double. But yeah, this is what I wanted to do. Now, I don't know if I can await in 2 scripts at once. I think I can, actually. Because then we want to await all of this lovely stuff. So, what we could do here is say var type of attack. And then what we're going to do, simply first equal this to 0, but it's best to describe. Now, another thing, Mob, if you're still watching, which I think is kind of cool. Yeah, that's funny. Another cool thing to note to make your processing speeds a little faster is to tell it exactly. So you can say var type attack equals like 1, which is fine. You can do that. You could even say it's a string as well, like hi or whatever. But it's actually better if you describe it. So it's better to say it's an int variable type and you equal it to 1, just because it'll help the processing speed, because it doesn't have to figure out what type it is. Same thing for string. String is capital S for some reason. I don't really know why. There's probably a reason. But that's what you would do if you have those kind of variables, just to let you know. I like to be in the habit of describing my variables. It makes the processing speed a little faster, and it's just better if you know you're not going to change the variable type. So type of attack equals int, and this is going to equal 0 on first. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to set this equal to the number that we pass it. So we're passing it the number in the other script. We're going to eventually get a random one for that, or both of them, honestly. But I want to move this entirely inside of my timer because I want a little bit of a delay, because if I do it originally, it's going to look silly. So I want to give it like a 1 second delay, maybe a 2 second. It really just depends. Why does it not like match? Oh, because we never gave it number, so we're going to give it attack type. Perfect. Perfect. Auto loads. I don't know. Probably not that much. Yeah. Well, technically it does lock it, but like I said, it makes it go faster. And usually, like, I always know type of attack is going to equal. You really shouldn't have variables where you change types. So it's just like a best practice thing. Like, you shouldn't have a variable that turns into an int in a string. You can do that, but it's just not good practice too, because that means your variables are not consistent. And if you don't have consistent variables, things bad can happen. Like if you try to save your ints as strings, but you only told it to save strings, it could just mess up everything. So you always want to be very descriptive with your coding. There's very rare instances you would want to change certain values. Because even like if you have like nothing in your inventory, it's better to have nothing in your inventory equal 0 than null. Or like nothing in your inventory equal an empty string that should be equal to like a weapon or whatever as a string. It's always nice to keep things consistent, because if you don't keep things consistent, then it's going to really confuse you in the future. But yeah, we got this here. We need to tell this the timer shoot. And then another thing, I don't know if you were paying attention, but you want it also to save, again, you want to have as less $sign variables as possible. So if you have things that are always going to be inside, like for instance, my timer shoot, it's good to have timer shoot described and then equaling it to type timer, because you can do types of nodes and then you go ahead and equal it to type timer shoot. There you go. This is the proper way to do it. Oops, make sure though you put a colon there because you're describing it. This again is just to help the processing speed, and it's best practice. But yeah, we're gonna do that and we'll do a dot start. Perfect. And that will hopefully work. So what we're gonna do, we might need to adjust this. I don't really know the time. I think it's 1 second. So once it hits 1 second, we'll have to adjust it. Let's see if it works though. It really might not work. I don't know. Let's see. We go to the boss. Blah, 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 blah. I could make it speak English. It jumps. Does it jump? Whee! And then it breaks. Why did it break? Invalid. Blah, blah. Global position. I spelled position wrong. I hate spelling the word position because that's so annoying. I spelled it wrong for every single one. Are you kidding me? Well, no, only these ones I spelled it wrong for. I always forget the I in position. It just doesn't sound like I'm saying position. It sounds like I'm saying position. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. See, this is why this is bad. Is because I'm like copy and pasting everything. But to be fair, like whatever. This is a small game. If I was making a more complex game with like multiplayer and all this cool stuff, I could make this game multiplayer, technically. I just don't know why it would be. I don't think it would be that fun. Also, why did it only go to that? Oh, because we had number 2. Did I pass a number 2? I did pass a number 2. Luckily, it got all the way there, though. I think we're going to need to extend the time, though. Because I think it spawned the slimes when I was in the air. It should only spawn them when it hits the ground. I talked too fast on the hips. Let's see. Jumps, spawns. Yeah! Okay, but see what I mean though? Like, it should jump again. Okay, so we need it to delay a little bit more. They're also really slow. But that looks cool. I think that looks awesome. I think it looks really cool. Okay, so the timer is too slow. But it did work. It worked the way. And we're going to have it like jump across too. I think that's going to be super cool. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so basically, I'll go over the logic a little bit more in detail. Basically, this is just creating the slimes. But the reason why I did the timer effect, if we go back, so like, okay, the boss jumps, okay? When it starts the attack, it is going to initiate the jump, which I want to set attacking to true. So we're attacking, and then we're setting the moving. Moving is just jumping. I just named it wrong because I'm a knucklehead. But then we initiate that shoot function. Now the reason why I have another timer inside the shoot slimes is because of this little thing, awaits. You have to be very careful with awaits. Awaits will stop the code on line 22. So basically what happens is, if I have any other functions or code in this script, it won't do it because I'm doing this await here. Now the reason I'm doing the await is because I want it to finish that jumping animation and moving. So I can't have this actually happen. And I want to delay this a little bit because this animation I'm playing is like really long. Like if I go into the animation of the slime, Dr. Slime, see what I mean? It has this many frames in the entire jump. But I really only want to play that animation when it gets to like this one or this one. So I need a timer that waits a couple seconds or 2 seconds to get to there, but I can't put it in that original script. So it's really important to think about like the systematic solution of your time, especially when you have awaits. Awaits are actually really not good to have. Like you shouldn't have a lot of, you should really only have like one await ever in your script, because if you have multiple awaits, you're gonna get into the issue where you're like, well, why isn't this happening when this should be happening? So it's very important to not overuse awaits because it's not a great way to do things. But yeah, let's see if this worked. Also, the slimes are really slow. I don't like how slow these are. We did this because I wanted to make sure the directions were working. It was originally a 400, but I don't know if 400 is really that good. If like, it might be really fast at 400. I think the player only moves at 300. Let's see how we do. Woo! All right. We're walking. We see the slime. We talk to the slime. Let's see him jump. Okay. I think I don't know. Also, that was way too fast. I think that was way too fast. Let's try 350 for that. Because I want it to be like, ooh. Oh, we also should say you can block it with the shield. I don't know. I don't think so, because we can't block enemies with the shield. I kind of like avoiding it better. I don't know. We'll have to see. Because like we could block those with the shield, but then like that defeats the purpose of like, I don't know, getting hit by it. We could say destroy if it hits the shield. It might work actually. And I think it actually already will, because we already have an area 2D on the shield in the first place. So let's try it now. Yeah, or at least only have like one await. Like, that's what I mean. I mean, just don't have like multiple awaits in your code. If you have multiple awaits in your code, you're gonna run into the issue where you like are like just stalled with stuff. Okay, well that didn't fix anything that I just did. This one is what we need to do. I don't know. It's really close. We could try 1.7. There's also another way we could do this too, where we only initiate it when it hits a specific frame. But I don't think that's a great idea. I think if we do that, then it's gonna like be a little weird, if that makes sense. All right, let's keep it going. We're doing good. All right, let's see if this looks, I just wanna make sure it shoots them out when it hits the ground flat. So it jumps, hits the ground flat. I think we could wait a little longer. We could wait a little bit longer. One more point second, I think. It honestly doesn't really matter. I just want to give the player enough time to avoid it, because that could be kind of frustrating. All right, this should be set, and we can always adjust it if it gets annoying, but I think it's okay. All right, let's go ahead, try this out for size. He jumps. That's okay. Okay, that's okay. But that did not disappear. No, I think it is disappearing. My worry is it's not hitting the wall up here. Let me make sure. It goes up. Yeah, it's disappearing. We could give it an animation when it disappears. Oh, and it hits us. Perfect. That's awesome. Problem is now we need to make them move around and do that. Is it too slow though? They're a little slow. Maybe we'll go 380. Let's go 380. Wow. Whew. All right, 380. Let's see how we do. Okay, he jumps. Let's see. I think it's not fast enough. We might have to bring it back to 400, honestly. Okay. But I do like how that works. So let's see. Let's see. He jumps. They're still going really slow. I don't know why they're going so slow. Was it at 450 before? Why is it going so slow? I don't think we adjusted the speed in it. Pretty sure it's just how it is. Alright. Talking to the slime, blah blah blah. Hit, hit, hit. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to give it a random variety of what it's gonna do. So let's go to the slime again. So when he jumps, and there's an easy way to do random. I always forget how to do this. I just did this like earlier. I think I taught a video. I think I literally taught like a mini shorts on how to do this. It's like random and then you pass numbers to it. Oh, I don't know. How do I pick a random? I just want to pick a random number between 1 and 2. There's got to be an easy way. I thought I think it's like dot random actually. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we could just do this. Okay, that's what we'll do. All right. Let's see. Okay, what we could do is we're gonna go to where we initiate that. Yep. Random number 1 to 2, and then we're just gonna pass that in here. So now it should give us a random number between 1 and 2. What video of random spawns for items? I don't know if I put random spawns for items. I have a video in this somewhere out of all of the streams I've done. But you mean like when they randomly spawn an item? Because like how I did that, if I go to like my slime script, I did it like this. So because the way I did it, I wanted to make rarity a thing. Basically, like I have 3 items a slime can drop normally, and that is, I will make 3D games actually. I'll be making 3D games. I have this game and then 2 more 2D games, and then I'm gonna make a couple 3D games. But hopefully this year is probably going to be all 2D because I have a lot of 2D games. But then I'm going to teach 2D game development as well. I just have to finish remaking my current 2D courses. I'm hoping to have one of the courses out by the end of this month, if not early March. And then I'm going to do the other 2 real quick. And then I'm going to do the 3D games. I want to do 3D games. Oh yeah, the coin collection one. So like, all I did for that was I just said like, if dead in the dead function, ignore the goal part, var dry. It's like the same thing I did with creating the slime balls actually, because like realistically all you're doing is like this part right here. You're just gonna say like, well, that's a bad one, here's the coin, there's my coin drop. It's just 3 lines. So like when it's dead, you would just say like var new coin equals the coin, which we know, we talked about. Coin is just an on ready. So like here we go, at on ready var coin preload. So like we preload the coin, we made that somewhere else. So we're just gonna do the same thing we do like with the slime balls. We're just gonna go ahead and create a new coin. So coin dot instantiate, because we got that new coin. We're making it into a new variable as new coin. Now then you need to say, hey, where in the tree do we want to put it? The tree is this thing. Usually you don't want to put it as child, which means inside of the thing. You want to say add sibling, which is next to the thing. Because what happens is, once we kill the slime, it makes the slime disappear. So pretty much, if we make the slime disappear, the coin disappears with the slime. But usually we want to just like play a dead animation, and then the coin is like just still there. So that's why you add it as a sibling, not a child. And then you need to set the position, because like sometimes when you spawn things, it'll spawn it in like the middle of nowhere. But I like to just be safe and just say new coin dot global position equals the current global position of whatever we're dropping. So it's just 3 lines. You need to create the new coin with instantiate, tell it where you want to put it in the tree, such as add sibling, and then force it to be in a specific location, like exactly where the enemy died. And that's it. But yeah, I have like a video on this, I think. I'm pretty sure I have coin dropping shorts tip. I make like shorts tips for Godot game development every day. Well, I'm trying to make them for every day. But yeah. Where the heck was I? I think I was back over here. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to randomly do this. So now it should randomly choose between shooting the slimes out this way. But what I think would be really cool is if we make the slime jump. So like it's going to go like blue and then spawn the coins and then spawn the coins. So I think what we should do is make it jump. The only thing is with the movement, let me double check the movement. I think when it moves, it doesn't, we need to like wait, again, we're gonna have another timer for this, because we want it to move only when it's like at this one. Like once it's in the air, then we'll make it move, and then we'll stop it moving once it gets to this one. So we're gonna make it move once it's here, and stop it moving once it gets to there. And I want to put it in like a position here, 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 and here. So sometimes it'll jump really high. But when it's jumping though, I don't want it to be able to be hit by the player or hurt the player, because theoretically it's in the air, if that makes sense. I don't think I want it to be hurting the player when it's flying around the map. So we'll get to that in a second. Let's get to the movements. So what could we do to make this work? The only issue, again, is the little await, because if I want to make it move, we can't really make it move if it's doing this. So the way we could do that is, we could probably handle the animations in itself, so we don't have to get stuck, if that makes sense. Because again, this is kind of not fun to handle that. Unless we want to make, unless we want to make the slime, I don't know. Technically it doesn't even need a body, because it's a slime. Like it's not gonna move, we're not gonna have it randomly move around. So we might not even need, I don't know. We need to just move it around. That's what we need to do. Problem is we can't make it move around because this is happening. Okay, we need to brainstorm how we're gonna do this. So I want to make it jump around. Problem is we can't make it jump around if we're playing the animations based off of the speed. I don't know. I hate working with the weights. Weights ruin everything. I think we need to have a script that sets this correctly, and then we're gonna have a timer for everything. So, yes, maybe, yeah, okay, fine. We're just gonna do it this way, because if we make it move like that, it's not gonna be good. Okay, let's go ahead, and we're gonna add a script to Dr. Slime. Are we really gonna keep it as Dr. Slime? That's great. All right, for Dr. Slime, let's go to scripts. Let's go to bosses. Where is bosses? It was in enemy bosses. Wow, we already have 4 scripts for the enemy slime. That's wild. But it's necessary. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is we need to handle what animation's playing. So let's do function. And we're gonna do our ready, nope, we're gonna do our process function. And we're gonna get rid of our process function here for delta. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna say var yeah, that's why I like those mini clips, because it's like a lot of information, but it's in the form of like a little short video or whatever. Or you're rewatching this, that how I explained it. But yeah, it's just a journey, you know. But I think I also teach that in the beginner course. I don't know if you're taking the course, Mob, but in the platformer game, I think I have like coins come out of things somehow. I don't remember. No, I have coins come out of the boxes when you hit them. So there's that as a reference as well. All right, var is attacking. And that's going to equal bool false. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing we did, because this is just going to handle the animations, because again, I don't want to handle the attacking. I know, isn't it awesome when you start to kind of like figure it out? It's really great. It takes a while, but once you do it, you'll like never forget it, if that makes sense. I don't actually think coding is the hard part in game development at all. After you do it for like a year or two consistently, coding is not hard. Like I don't think there's a coding issue I've ever run into. It's more of like a logic issue of how you want things to work, if that makes sense. Like my biggest struggle with this entire game was cutscenes. I didn't know how I wanted to do cutscenes, because there's so many different ways you can do it, and because I'm not making like a 3D game where I can just make like an animated cutscene and then have it play like a movie, I want it to be like in-game cutscenes. That's when it gets hard, if that makes sense. But after I figured out how I want to do it, which is just like, it just like flashes the screen and transports my position. Like, it's pretty simple, but it took me a while to like decide on that. No, don't worry about it. I'm a horrible speller. I spelled position wrong like 10 times and broke all my code, apparently. Alright, what are we playing? Idle. So if we're not attacking, we always want to play idle position. Is it not going to let me do it self? What? Why does this not like this? What? Oh, duh. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's all I care about. Okay, and then that's gonna happen. Perfect. Then we're gonna say attacking. This is why we needed to do this. I never put the colon. Play moving, and if it's moving, that's fine. And then we're gonna say await. Animation finished. Perfect. Okay. All right, that looks great. So if that animation finished, play moving, that's fine, because we're just gonna call this and we're gonna change it. And then once this finishes changing it, we're gonna do this. Equals true. That's all we care about. We just want this to handle the animation player because of the little await that ruins our lives. So now that we have this, what we want to do, I don't know how long this is. I'll be completely honest. No idea. Honestly though, what we could do is we could just look for that. I think we're gonna do that. That's a smart idea. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get rid of how we play the animation. And instead we're gonna do this. Attacking. And we're gonna tell it where it is, which is this. And this, we don't care about that. That's fine, that's fine. We don't want to do this here. We want that to stay there. But what we do want to do is we want to say is attacking true in the beginning and then say false at the end. Because we're telling it to attack, and because we're awaiting, then we'll set that to false. Perfect, okay. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to boss slime. We need to know when to start this timer. What was this timer for? Oh, this was for like changing it. Oh. I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna need an if statement for this. So it's gonna start attacking. Once it's attacking, we're gonna need to set this off based on this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab Dr. Slime. All right, whew. I need to stand up eventually. We're gonna grab Dr. Slime. Because we want this to, this timer to go off if the other one. Now the reason why, oof, this is getting tricky. There's a way to do this that's a little interesting. We're not going to do anything in there, actually. What we are going to do, we're just going to set this off. Let's just do that. This is a genius idea. But this isn't smart. This is smart. Yes, okay. Dr. Slime. We're gonna take timer. We're just gonna start timer by doing that. Attack. Timer. Capital T equals a lovely little timer. Yeah, but that's gonna be a problem. Add-on ready. Perfect, okay. What we're gonna do is we can suit all of this in here. Perfect. And that'll fix our problem. Okay, so this should work normally now, and we don't have any awaits anymore in this, because in this, we need the moving to be set. Because when we do this, this is gonna start it. Let's make sure this works correctly, because I have a feeling it's not gonna work the way I want it to work anymore. Okay. Let's go ahead and go up here. Okay, we start the battle. 1, 2, 3. That works, perfect. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's okay. Okay. Well, that was not good. Why are you trying to save that? Okay, perfect. Okay, that works great. Now what we're gonna do is we need to actually move the slime. So, where's the slime? Just had the slime. Clicked on 100 things. Okay, so now when we start the attack jump, we want to move it. So it jumps and then attacks. So start attack jump is when the timer goes off. When that happens, it's going to play moving. And when moving happens, we want to initiate the attack in like a minute or two. Probably we want to like delay it for a second and then we want to start it. Can I get the frame? Because if I do that, this would make my life very easy. Okay, so what frame? Is that what it's called, frame? No. Let's see. We're probably gonna start a jump. Moving there. Moving there. Just trying to figure out a way to do this. Also, we don't need a collision shape. I don't actually want this at all to be active, because I don't, he'll bump into things. Okay, for the slime, we need it to move after a second, so we'll start another timer and start the movement to the new spot. So, start timer, kicks it off, stops it. Maybe. Too many timers. Well, I don't know if I can get... Well, then I need to check it the whole time. It's better to just track it with timers, to be honest. So... Start, move. Start, move, timer. This is only gonna move like... I only want it to move, start moving timer, once it gets to there. I'm just trying to debate whether I need it to get there based on... I just wonder if I need 2 timers. That's all I'm really trying to figure out here. Do I need 2 different timers to achieve this goal? Start, move, timer. Okay. And then we're gonna take our start move timer. Okay, so this is gonna be initiated. I think this is gonna start after literally like 0.5 seconds, I think. One shot, and we're gonna play this. Once, yeah, we don't even want to, we just want it to start the move timer. I feel like we're getting too many timers here. Start move timer dot start. Okay, so we're gonna start the timer. Once the move timer finishes, I don't really think it matters. Well, no, we're just going to initiate, start moving to target. Yeah, and then we're going to pick the random one. We do need this. Okay, so we're going to say... I need another bool for this. Move to target. So... timer is like the description of it, so like kind of like how we have this one here, var alive bool type, and then we set it equal to false. Up here is like the same thing, but we're describing what node it is. So just like how we're describing what variable type this is, we're describing what what type of node this is. Like if I was calling something like a character body 2D, you can actually type in character body 2D. So you can choose any node in the game. This just helps it specify what exactly it is, because you don't have to do this. You could technically, again, you could just equal it like this. You don't need to. Problem is, it saves you computing power. So it's best to describe what it is, because start move timer we know is a timer, and we know we're never going to change the type. Now sometimes though, very rarely you would have a type that isn't a timer, if that makes sense. So it's best you have it like description it, because it'll save you compute power. Again though, if you're making a small game, it doesn't really matter, but this game's getting pretty big. Look how many scripts I have. If I don't do this for these, it might get a little laggy. But anyway, once this happens, then we're gonna do this. First we're gonna pick a random location, because I don't know where we're going. And you know what? We're gonna do it this way. Yeah. All right, random spot. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead, and this is gonna be, oh, I don't know. This is technically a vector 2. No. Nah, we're just gonna make it an int, because we're gonna have 6 spots. We'll just do it based on the int. Which one are we at right now? 1, 2, we're on 2. That's technically where we currently are. Okay, so then we're gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get a random value for it. So we're gonna choose a new random value, and then we're gonna force the player. We're gonna force the person to go to it. So we're gonna set random spot equal to the new thing, and we know we have 6 spots, so I'm gonna do 1 to 6. Okay, and then once that happens, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to set move to target equals true. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and say if move to target equals true, but we don't need this in here. So let's do this. Add on ready, var target 1. It's really good not to name it with the variable type. This is gonna be a node 2D. Node 2D. And we're gonna equal this to whatever we set it to. Okay, this is gonna be annoying, but let's go ahead and say nodes. This is gonna be spots. Yeah, you got this. Spot 1. Okay, spot, this is actually spot 2. We're on spot 2. And then let's do spot 3, which is gonna be spot 1. I always do that number lock by accident. It's right next to enter. Okay, I'm gonna put this one like over there. I think we might adjust this, but for now it's whatever. Spot 3 is gonna be over here. And then we're gonna do 4, which will be like right here. I'm gonna put it exactly on it. Okay. Cool. And then we're gonna do spot 5. Can always adjust it later if I don't like it. Spot 6. Perfect. Okay, then we're gonna go back into here. Yeah. And then this is gonna equal spot 1. And we need the other ones now. Luckily, they're all the same pretty much. Except this 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And then we're going to do this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Okay, that's good. All right, now what we got to do is we need to put this in the correct one because this doesn't really matter. What we're going to do is we're going to use function physics process. Okay, perfect. Okay. And then we're going to do this. If move to target equals true, and then we're going to say we're going to do that. Alright. Well. Alright. Okay. Why is it gotta be so ridiculous? Alright, let's do it this way then. Perfect. Where am I going? Okay. And this is second. Wish I could refresh this. Nope. Alright, let me do that then. Perfect. Okay. What is the problem here? Why? Does it already have one? Okay. Perfect. This is not setting correctly. Yeah, it is. Why does it think it's red? Why is it pink? Move to target. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what that deal is. Random spot. Hold on. This is the problem with that. Move to target bool. Current target index wrong. I want current target index. Oh. Just do that. What? What? Let's just do this. We're gonna do that. Okay. I think this will work. Let's try it out. So now it should jump and move. Problem is, I don't know. Let's just see if it works. It might work. Well, no, I don't know. Let's see. Alright, let's double check this. Didn't even move. Why did it not move? There it moves. Oh, look at that. Well, see, that's what I mean, though. It's... Oh, that's not good. Why is it moving? Well, it moved. It moved in the correct direction. It just didn't know. Why did it not do that? Why did it not? What? Oh, you know why? It's because it's moving with it. That's why. That's my fault. The spots should not be in there. They should be on the outside. It was working correctly. Problem is, we put it on incorrect. Okay. There we go. And, yep, looking at there. Okay. What else? Let's take that. And again. That's gonna be 6. Yeah, it is not working correctly. It's because the spots were going with it, so it could never get to it. So it was working correctly. It just never got to the spot. So we need to put the spots outside of it, because everything inside Slime Boss is going to move with Slime Boss. So we need to make sure we don't do that. Shaders. Are you making a 3D game or a 2D game? If it's 3D, ooh, I don't know. I would like wait until you have a good like build, you know? But then again, it depends on what you want to prioritize. Like I like to get the functionality done first. Like I like to get like most of the kind of like the base level, just because the shaders will really look like they should when the game is at the point when it makes sense. Okay, there's no way it just jumped in the first one. There's 6 spots. He jumps. Okay, but he's like not moving fast enough. I think that's the real issue. So what we're gonna do is set this to 400, not 4,000. Oh no. But shaders are kind of tough. But I wouldn't do shaders though until you have like a base game done, if that makes sense. Like until you have like all the character movement, all the character game over, game win, how they move around, how they like interact with things, because you're really not gonna, because you're just gonna have to redo the shaders every time you get like different instances of the game. So make sure until you like have a good base level. Oh, that looks really good. Okay. I think it needs to jump around more though. Well, that was, see, that's what I mean. That was too slow. It should, that's okay. It jumps fine when it's next to it. My only worry is, I don't like when it jumps across. Like but that also looks super silly, I think. That worked great. That looked great too. So when it jumps, like I think like that, I don't want it to, like that looks really silly. And that's gonna be a problem. I think it should only jump around itself. I think that's a little bit better. So we're gonna change how this works. Just a bit. Where's slime? Oh, that's why. It's because it's originally setting to 1 every time. No, I don't think so. I think it's just doing that because we set it to begin with. But we do want to change this because I only want it to go. So it's like a grid of 1, 2, 3, and then that makes sense. So we only want it to do it when it's next to it. This is the better way to do it. All right. Okay. Where's all my fun stuff? All right. then what we're gonna do again. This is not gonna work. Come on. Yeah. Where is this being defined? Valid move. Move to target. Where's move to target being summoned to? Oh, okay. This is what we needed. Random spot needs to be that. So we need current spot to be random spot. Cool. And then we're gonna get rid of random spot. Perfect. Okay. All right. Let's see if this works. It's looking really good. Okay, boss jumps. Ow. Get out of here. Why is it only going to be at 1? That's not going to work. Okay, it's broken. Why? Current spot equals 1. Oh, because we're only changing the start position, we need to use targets. Okay. That's what it is. Okay. So we're going to set targets to 1 to 6. Alright. Doo-doo. Alright, let's see if this works. I want him to jump only to the ones he can, like, actually jump to. Wow, that's great. Okay. It is current spot. I knew it was going to be current spot. Why? New spot in valid movements. Current spot. Current spot equals new spot. Actually, new spot is what we're doing. Wait a minute. This is what we need to do. I get it. I'm a knucklehead. Okay. Alright. Var. Random spot. This is the problem. Perfect. Okay. Alright. Then we can do this now. It's going to break everything. Alright, let's see how this works. The cat behind me. Get out of here. He's ridiculous. He has to be right behind me every time. Okay, please work. Why does it always do... Oh, it's because we keep it at number 1? There's no way. Yeah, it's going to be stuck at number 1 every time. Oh, because we're getting errors. Are we getting errors? What's the errors for? Targets. What's the problem? This is old errors, I'm pretty sure. What is going on? Okay, try to move spot. Try to move. When is that getting called? This is wrong. Move logic. When is... Okay. Random range. Why is it gonna do it again? Yes, it did it again. Why did it do it again? It doesn't like how we did this. Can't find the spots. Why can I not find the spots? Because it's using the old one, that's why. Okay. Because we changed it. And it didn't realize it. Come on. change this. It's 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. Perfect. With that, it should work. I think. I don't know why I didn't air out though. It's kind of weird. Should have aired. Okay. Hey, it works. It's still too slow. I think it's because I sped it up before. Yeah, we need to speed this jump up. I think I did 400 last time, and it worked really well. Alright, I also gotta end the stream. It's getting kind of late. Let's make sure it works. Okay. Oh, come on. Don't be in the same spot. Perfect. I liked that a lot. Perfect. That looks really good. It's a little clanky, but I think it's okay. I wanted to jump like 3 times though. I want to, and then jump again and jump again. You know what I mean? That would be kind of cool. I just need to make sure though it's also doing the up and down one. Yeah, it is. Okay. We could do the triple one, I think. Yeah, it needs to move around like way more. I like it. All right, that looks great. Sweet. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap this up though on my own, but so far the boss works really well. We just needed to basically speed up the jumping, and then as we hurt it more in each phase, it should speed up, and then once it gets to the final phase, I'll have it do the super spread. But I'm pretty sure we can also dodge it, maybe with the shield. Oh wow, the shield looks really weird, this lighting. Yeah, the shield looks really strange. I need to fix that. Maybe not. Maybe it's just my computer screen. Anyway, looks good, guys. But please help us out and wishlist the game on Steam. We're trying to get 1,000 wishlists before release. I think the demo will be out maybe later tonight, if not tomorrow though. So keep up on the channel, follow or subscribe depending on what you're watching. But please keep up and please wishlist the game. I'll see you next time.